Okay, so let's start a reading vlog. This one's going to continue off of the last one where I did not finish Guild. I'm about 60% of the way through it now, and it's just becoming more and more obvious that like Midas is just not a good ruler. He's not a good ruler, and now they're like risking life and limb through avalanches and stuff to take the saddles to him because he went before them to to another kingdom, and he's trying to drag the saddles over there. Why? You're risking life and limb to have your hoes with you? Well, I guess risking their life and limb and your guard's life and limb is kind of ridiculous. So, yeah. You needed to get laid that bad, man? I don't get it, but okay. So, that's kind of where that's at. But, so far it just seems like really dumb. But, what can you do? So far, Aaron is still kind of unlikable. But Digby and Sale are the good ones. The guards, like, they seem like kind of normal, decent people. But, yeah, all the saddles are ridiculous. But, we'll just see where it goes from here. But I've heard a lot of people say, like, the first one is not the best book anyways in the series. Like, everything kind of starts in the second book. So, you know, at this point, I feel like I was a little bit more interested in the setup in the beginning. And then now I feel like it's just kind of, like, not a lot is going on. They're just traveling. There's a lot of detail in these travels, which I don't feel like we really needed, but it's whatever. So, anyways, I'm just gonna get through this and then still attempt the second book because apparently it gets better there, but we'll see. We'll see. But the thing about Arin that is also kind of weird and kind of gross is her little ribbons that come out of her back because they're golden, right? So she's gold touched and everything about her is gold. Her hair is gold, her skin's gold, which makes me think, what did her ribbons look like before she was gold touched? Because it doesn't really say, but I kind of have a feeling they just look like flesh tentacles, which is fucking nasty. So, I don't know. She just seemed like she looked kind of nasty and like an octo tentacle monster thing before she got changed to gold. But I don't know. I do not know. There's not a lot saying what she looked like beforehand, because that's not the point. But it's kind of nasty if you think about it too long. I'm trying not to, because she can move them. They are really like dangly skin bits. It's kind of nasty. It's kind of nasty, and she can move them, and she's gonna braid her hair and shit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So for this update, I started Divine Rivals, which I know a lot of people were into. So we'll see how it goes. So far, it's like okay. It's not my favorite book so far, but it is interesting. The premise of like magical typewriters sending letters back and forth during war. So interesting to see how this develops. But I'm about 100 pages in now, and honestly, it's kind of diabolical. the Roman, the guy, knows who it is. He knows who it is, and he's just not saying shit. He's not saying shit. And, you know, he started all this shit by creeping, and honestly, he's like taking her suggestions and shit. Like, I don't know why she helped him, but it seems like she's actually the better brother. She's just going through some stuff, you know, with her family and everything, but he's a rich kid. He's a rich dude, and his dad sucks. His dad sucks. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of amazing that they even, like, ended up working at the same place and becoming rivals, because his dad super doesn't want him to associate with her. So why is he working in a place where people of her class, too low class, why is he working there? Why did his dad want him to work somewhere where he was going to end up mingling with people like her that if you don't like her? If his dad doesn't actually want him to mingle with people like her. But supposedly it's a good job, so I'm like, I don't get it. They're both working the same job, but he's just rich, so it's all good for them. I don't know. They can do whatever they want because they're rich. Apparently, she can't because she's not. That's ridiculous. But, you know. A lot of people are like that, I guess. Real stingy. But that's where we're at. And, now she's going to write about the war specifically, so that'll be interesting. I don't think she's been, like, in the midst of it all yet, but yeah, it's feeling very World War I coded, which I think I knew that going in, that it was gonna be kind of like that, but yeah, she's like more into the war area now, so we're gonna see where this goes, because it's obviously set up for something tragic to happen, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm about halfway through this. Iris is now like closer to the front lines, and she's looking for her brother, and just I hope she finds them. The thing about this book is like things are just happening so conveniently. Like she quit her job and man was able to get another job so easy. So easy. Like, I mean, they explain why later, but I was like, that's the easiest interview I've ever in my life. Like, it's not that easy to get a job like that anymore. So anyways, I don't know. And then this guy, rich people just doing whatever the fuck they want, honestly. Like, this is not a 5-star book for me so far, but so far I am thinking that I'm going to continue on with this series. I mean, it's only a duology, so I do have Ruthless Vows, so we might just go straight on to that one after this, but we'll see. But so far, these kids, like, Iris feels like a normal person, kinda. Roman kinda is just doing what, I mean, he's not supposed to be doing whatever the hell he wants, obviously, because his parents have his dad has a pole in his butt. But he's doing it anyways. And I guess that is how normal guys act sometimes, so maybe this is all just real people shit. But not him just doing whatever the fuck he wants anyways. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel for Iris. I really hope she can find her brother. Like, that's the the beginning of the book. They explain that he's like off in war, alright, and I hope she can find him, and I hope he's okay, because we don't have like any information about what's going on with him. But that's basically it. So far, like, Iris as a person, so far I'm like, Roman, what the fuck, bro? The fuck? Anyways. Okay, so I think I'm gonna finish this book today, but like, why are they in an active war zone hearing the alarms blaring, talking about, oh, that's the evacuation sirens, but do we really need to evacuate? What? Why do y'all got a death wish? It's ridiculous. Like, why wouldn't you evacuate when you hear evacuation sirens? This is the stupidest shit I've heard in a while. Also, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really buy their, like, love connection. Like, this is not my first Rebecca Ross series that I've read, and just, like, anytime when people are, like, in love, it just feels suddenly like it happened. It's like a thing that just kind of, I just feel like there's something missing here. Like, I don't buy the chemistry that much. It's just like one day they're alrighty. Like, to me, they feel more like friends. Just like good friends. But okay. That's a romantic relationship now. So, all of a sudden. It just feels so sudden. Like, I don't know. I liked her other books more than this. So this is definitely not my favorite. Definitely not a 5-star. I'm leaning toward a 3-star, honestly. I'll probably still at least attempt Ruthless Vows, but if it's more stupidity, I might just be done. So, definitely, out of all the Rebecca Ross books I've read, this is probably my least favorite so far. But, I mean, it's alright. It's alright. But, yeah. We're writing a few letters back and forth, so I'll take some hot love now, apparently. Okay, I just finished this, and I'm giving it 3 stars. It's just, this is a war book. This is just a war book, but then there happens to be, like, the war is too god's sides. And so there's obviously like a degree of magical fuckery going on, but not like to the biggest degree that would make it more interesting. But it is more just about like the regular people. But I don't know, like their relationship is not the most compelling one. I don't know, it's just okay. Like there's just nothing that made it that interesting. So, but anyways, I'll probably still read Ruthless Vows. I'm gonna go dig that up. But we're done with this one. I'm gonna list this. It's a very pretty copy, so it's very sad because, like, look at how nice the hardcover is. But anyways, another one bites the dust. So I was reading Guild last night, and are snow pirates a thing? Did I not know my whole life that pirates aren't just on the oceans and they're in the snow too? Because what the fuck? Like, I was reading this last night, like, what? Snow pirates? They're like, who's snow pirates? And I'm like, what the fuck is a snow pirate? So anyways, I don't know. But anyways, I'm about to go Google what the fuck a snow pirate is because I was super confused last night. Alrighty, so reading update. It has been a minute, I think, but anyways, I'm going to El Paso today. We're gonna run some errands. I also bought a mic that's supposed to come in this week, so we're gonna see if I can figure out how to make that work. But anyways, I've gone a little nuts. I started like 3 different books. So I started The Night Ends with Fire. This is straight up a Mulan retelling, and so far, yeah, crimes against women. This is like, it's set kind of historically, obviously. So far, Mulan, that's not her name in this book, but the main character has met like the prince, and you know, we're doing the thing where she knows kung fu, and so she's gonna join the army. Like, she's just gonna run off because she refuses to get married. You know what? Fair, because that's some bullshit. So anyways, yeah, a lot of bullshit against women in this book, as predicted. But we've started it, and so far I'm liking it. I'm not that far in yet, about 50 pages, but I'm liking it so far. I mean, if I had hopes for that, I did like a movie as a kid at least. Couldn't tell you much beyond that. But anyways, I also started this morning The Starlight Heir, which another thing of a woman trying to be pimped out, possibly, to the crown, like he's got to pick his bride situation type thing. But she also thinks it's like a joke so far. So I'm like super only a few pages in, so I don't know fully the premise of this yet. But this is more women getting married type stuff so far. And then the other one I started is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, which so far that started with a pregnant girl who is getting shipped off. It's like, this is definitely like a little bit historical because it's in a time when people were shipping. I mean, shit, I guess they probably still do that. But this is where the girl is she's pregnant, her family finds out, her dad's saying really ugly stuff to her, and now she's getting shipped off to a home to like have the baby, and it sounds like they're gonna take the kid at the end, and just like she's never gonna see her kid. So, but it kind of sounds like she's okay with that part. She just didn't want to end up in a home, but it also sounds like she was getting into some trouble and stuff. So, but it sounds like she's gonna learn some witchcraft while she's at this home. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, basically, she's been disappeared from her town to have her baby. But we'll see how that goes, because yeah, apparently I'm supposed to do witchcraft, and this is by Grady Hendrix, which normally it's like horror stuff, but kind of like funny, ridiculous horror stuff. Like, it's never, at least the ones that I've only read one. The other one I read, it was some nasty shit, but then it was also like kind of ridiculous. Like, can't take it too seriously in parts. But we'll see how this one goes, because yeah, I can already potentially see some campiness going on at the home, because some of these girls, they're already like, everybody here smokes. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like that, huh? yeah, we're just gonna see what happens. But so far, 3 books, all trying to tell women what to do, what's new. These are all set in previous times, but it hasn't really changed. Not really. So anyways, I'm gonna go to El Paso, try to eat some food and stuff, so hopefully I'll remember to get some B-roll, but if I don't, there you go. Okay, so update for Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. This book has me so mad for these girls because they are just trying to brainwash them. They're telling them all kinds of bullshit. And then, you know, the solution that they're finding is also low-key bullshit too. So everybody's trying to, like, use these girls for their own means, basically. And, yeah. Like, they have no say in the shit that is happening to them at this point. And they're just trying to guilt them the whole time and tell them, like, oh, you're gonna pretend this never happened. Like, you're not gonna be able to pretend this never happened. You're never gonna be able to pretend that you didn't have a whole ass baby and disappear for like several months and then just reappeared like nothing happened. Really you're gonna pretend that nothing happened? And then, you know, other people trying to like kidnap this other girl. Like, it's getting intense, but like also I'm very hooked because yes, I'm just so mad for them. I'm so mad for them and some of the shit that is going down in this book. But I'm just very invested because, you know, the worst part I feel like is that's like women doing crimes to other women in this. Like, yeah, her dad really sucked, and a lot of these girls' parents are like sending them and like doing all this shit, but they're going to a home where this lady runs it, and they're just like, it's messed up. It's real messed up, the things that they're doing and the things that they're saying to them. So they're like, oh yeah, you're just gonna like, they like knock them out to have their babies. Like, it sounds like they're just putting them under, doing like a C-section and then calling it a day so that way they can't see their babies and try to like, I guess like get attached or something. That's my guess of why they're doing it like that. But it's kind of messed up. Like, these adoptions are not really optional for them. One of the girls doesn't want to sign the paper to like give away her baby, and they just, the way that they got her to sign that was real messed up. It's really messed up. So yeah, anyways, definitely check trigger warnings if you're gonna read this. It is a horror book, so you know, you should always do that when you're gonna read horror anyways. But I'm invested, and I might finish it today. If I don't, it's definitely gonna be tomorrow because I need to know how this ends. But yeah, so far I'm into it, and I think this is like my second Grady Hendrix book, so far so good, but we'll see. So anyways, I'm gonna go back to listening to that. So I finished Witchcraft for Wayward Girls last night and just was upsetting shit. I mean, the whole book kind of was, but you know, just these girls went through so much bullshit. And you know, it was kind of easy to forget how old they were throughout the book. But yeah, the main character is only 15 years old, having a baby, and everybody's like doing all this shit. And just like, I don't know, like I feel like she had to grow up a lot in that situation. because, I mean, not just the whole pregnancy situation, which there was so much fucked up shit at that house, but even the situation with the witches, like, decide right now if you want to just, like, come around with us and be persecuted for the rest of your life. She's like, no. What is the appeal? Like, yeah, I don't blame you, because that did not sound good. And they're like, here, you need to carry the line of our blah, blah, blah. Even the other witches were like, girl, settle down. So, this is unnecessary as hell. It's unnecessary as hell. Like, what is the appeal of walking around with a bunch of voices in your head? We have medication for that now. But yeah, they also brought up that, like, all of this is set, like, before, 2 years before Roe versus Wade. And then, you know, and then they're like, oh, our lives would have been so different if we had had it later. Then they wouldn't have had to be shipped off like that, because, you know, they didn't want them having no babies, and it was all real hush-hush. But now we're villainizing it. Like, oh my god, I can't stand being in the United States some days like this. Reading stuff like this, we have gone so backwards, because this book was set in, like, the 60s. And now, fast forward, we're trying to, like, regress back to this shit. It's such a ridiculous mess. But anyways, yeah, it's very upsetting to read about, but the ending, that basically the epilogue, did make some stuff feel a little bit better, which was nice. Kind of wrap things up in a way that was less anger inducing. This whole book is just rage bait. This book is rage bait. Like, yeah, if you give a shit about women at all, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad reading this stuff that they did to them. Like, even though a lot of them are, like, under 18, I mean, that's the whole point. They're all, like, teenagers, right? But, oh man, it's real ugly. Also, I don't know, they were real racist to Xenia. Like, the racism was real in this book too, but also just, like, I don't know, the way they flip-flopped on, like, oh yeah, let's get help over here, but then over there, and then the whole thing with Holly and the Reverend, oh my god. That was horrific and disgusting, and the fact that nobody believed her is horrible. It's horrible. Like, no wonder she didn't want to fucking talk. I don't blame her. Because, yeah, at the beginning of when she goes to that home, there's a girl there that they're like, oh yeah, she's crazy, she doesn't talk, and da-da-da. Yeah, I wouldn't fucking talk either if nobody believed anything I was saying. But, poor kid, like, she had it really rough. Like, and they're over here, like, making them pray, like, oh, like it was their sin. I'm like, no. But she didn't go out of her way to do this. Her parents put her in that situation. And then, of course, the guy lied. So gross. So gross. That guy is so nasty. And, like, I don't know. It was just, like, it was really sad. Holly's story was really sad. She didn't want to go home. Can't blame her. Can't blame her when your parents don't believe you and they're throwing you out, like, to go stay overnight. Why would you send your kid overnight with a grown-ass man? I don't care if he's a reverend. I don't care. Like, we're gonna pretend that grown-ass men are not grown-ass men just because of their profession? Please. They're like politicians. They're the same. They just tell you whatever kind of crap. Like, they're just good at convincing people shit. Same as politicians. Why would you believe that? Why would you trust? Well, no. Like, why does a grown-ass man, period, why does a grown-ass man need little kids, little girls, 8-year-old girls, to be spending overnight time at his house? Why? And why, as a parent, would you believe that shit? Ridiculous. And disgusting and upsetting. So anyways, yeah, this book is very upsetting. I was very mad for them. I was mad for these girls the whole book. The whole entire book. There's a lot of fucked up shit in this book. But anyways, yeah. I ended up giving it 4.5. Because, I mean, at the beginning I thought I was going to give it a 5, but then it did kind of feel like it was going a little long. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, throughout the course of the book, Fern has to realize, like, the system is set to fuck us. So she learned that at the ripe age of 15. So, you know, fantastic times. Anyways, yeah, it's a very upsetting book, but also very appropriate in these times. So, there you have it. Okay, so I have my new mic. I'm really excited. It seems like I won't have to try to be yelling in my room anymore and y'all can hear me. So anyways, I'm so glad this is working. But I'm about halfway through The Night Ends with Fire, and like she already got found out. We already got to that part. Like I feel like you know, if you've seen the Disney movie, it does kind of follow that, but you know, instead of Mushu, you know how she had the little dragon. He's like, I am a dragon. There is a dragon, but it's more she's talking to it like a spirit. Like she can commune with the spirits, but apparently it's like super illegal. So, you know, she's just doing everything illegal, talking to spirits, joining the army as a woman. She got found out. But, you know, she lucky. She a lucky hoe. So she is just very lucky. So, yeah. So now, you know, we're on to the second part, but yeah, I mean, the way women get, like, the second that he finds out that she's a woman, he just, the way it flips, like, come on, man, like, oh yeah, we'll take all your suggestions, and then, she's a lady, never mind, it's ridiculous. What's ridiculous is that people still freaking act like this, and this is supposed to be historical. But anyways, and there's already, like, some romance, so I guess this is a bit of a fantasy romance situation. But, I don't know why I didn't think there was going to be a romance in this, because, you know, I don't think there had to be. But there is, so, yeah, anyways. That's where we're at. Yeah, I think the spirit shit's probably going to get her into more trouble than being in the army was, but, you know, these are the predictions that let's be for real, I'm usually wrong about. So, we're just going to see where this goes, but, yeah. The art on this is really good, though. Like, even the edges are so good on this one. I just like looking at it. I think sometimes I get distracted because I'm just looking at the art instead of paying attention to the book. But, yeah, that's the update. So far, so good. But also, I kind of zone out because some parts are so similar. Like, I don't know. We just have a lot of retellings these days. But, you know, that don't mean they're bad. But there's a lot. There's just a lot. So, anyways, I'm just gonna continue with this and see how we go from here. Okay, so I finished The Night Ends with Fire. And I ended up not liking this as much as I was hoping. Because, you know, it's a Mulan retelling, and that was, like, one of my favorite stories as a kid. I mean, obviously it's the Disney version, so it's obviously very different. This is obviously more adult, you know, probably closer to the original, which definitely sounds like it has some way more serious things going on, obviously. But I don't know, I didn't like Maylene as much as I was hoping I was going to. Like, I don't know, she was doing some dumb some like stuff that I thought was just painfully obvious. Like, who do you think you're fooling? Like, I don't know. So, I don't know. I don't think I like this book enough to even continue. And it's only a duology. But, like, I don't know. I'm not as into it as I was hoping. And honestly, even her guy friends suck. Because apparently, you know, same old shit, just a different day. Being a woman is like the highest freaking crime you can do in society. How dare you be a woman that's competent? She's destroying society. So ridiculous, man. I mean, if you want to be mad, you can go ahead and read this. But, yeah, the ending's bullshit. The whole war happens in this book, so there's, like, not even... I mean, I can kind of guess what's going to happen in the second one. Like, I feel like I'm just going to read a synopsis and call it a day. Not synopsis, like, just read some spoilers somewhere and know the ending, because I don't feel like I need to continue this. Anyways, I've already listed it for sale. It's a shame because it's like a really pretty book, but what can you do? So anyways, yeah, I give it 3 stars because, it wasn't bad, and like some of the action I was like invested in and stuff, and I was like, I was still hoping that she was gonna do all right and everything, but the the spirit power stuff ended up, she was relying on it too much, man. So yeah, it just goes to show you can save everyone's ass and they're still gonna be assholes to you. So just a lot of ungrateful assholes, in this book. So yeah, it's for sale. Anyways, that's the update. Okay, so I fully have started another book, but it's kind of predicted because I did say that I was going to continue on with Ruthless Vows, and so I have, as promised. So anyways, for this one, I'm actually liking it more. Like, I'm already, I think, like 50-60% of the way in, and like, I mean, it's longer, but I like it more. Like, now the setup of the like whole gods and shit makes sense. One of them is actually present in this book, doing things, messing with them, and like, in the first one I was like, they don't seem necessary. I mean, I guess that was just set up because now, was it Dacre, the guy, god, I don't remember what he's the god of, but he's doing things. He is doing things in this book. He's present. He's an actual physical character in this book, and things are happening, and he's making shit happen. So, what he's doing to them is almost something. But yeah, it's turning out to be way more interesting. Like, I'm liking this one more than the first one for sure. So, I think this is gonna get a higher rating. But what, like, it's a sequel, so I can't really tell you what's going on, or it's a spoiler. But it's just, the relationship took a turn. Okay, that's how I'll phrase that. But anyways, that's the update, and I'm probably gonna finish it, but today, tomorrow, something like that, very soon. Anyways, feeling super lazy today, but anyways, Ruthless Vows is popping off. I'm at the very end, and it is so good so far. Like, this book is so much better than the first book. Like, so much better. Like, the first one was really just set up for this. So, yeah, I'm invested in this one, where I wasn't really invested in the first one. So, yeah, this is popping off. But, anyways, I am getting pretty close to the end. Hopefully finishing it today, because I need to know how this ends. Okay, so I finished Ruthless Vows, which this was, I feel like, so much better to me than the first one. Like, so much more. But, like, mostly in, like, the second half. So, like, the second half of the book, locked in. Before then, not as much. I mean, like, this one in general was better. Like, the first book was definitely just set up for this. Like, you get action with both of the gods in this one that were in the other one. The war wraps up in this. Like, everything. Just so much stuff happens in this one. Whereas the first one, yeah, was kind of... I guess the first one was more setting up, like, the relationship and stuff, but yeah, this one was way better to me. So I give this one 4 stars. But yeah, since I didn't really like the first one that much, I am listing these for sale just because I don't have a lot of space. And like, this is not one of her better series in my opinion. But yeah, the second one, like, if you're like on the fence go for the second. Like, if you're on the fence, try it out. Try out the second one and then just see, because I feel like the very end of the first one was like where things started to like pick up, and that's what made me want to like continue kind of. So yeah, this duology is, you know, I think worth a read. But yeah, just like, it depends on how much you like historical stuff. Like, for me it's hit or miss, but if you like historical stuff, you're probably gonna like it. Also, I literally just listed this duology while I'm making the video, like immediately after listing it. I literally just sold it. Oh, like, man, Book Talk has hyped this series up. But anyways, okay, so there's my 2 cents. But yeah, it's not bad. Rebecca Ross is not like a bad author by any means. But yeah, yeah, it's worth giving it a shot, I would say, definitely. But yeah, I definitely like the second one a lot more. So there's my 2 cents. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I actually started another book, because of course I did. So, while I was diamond painting, I wanted something else to listen to that, you know, I wasn't trying to also follow along with a book for. So, I started, I have to look up, it's a long title. This is one of them word salad titles. Let's see, I think, yeah. A Ship of Bones and Teeth, which I have heard good things about, by Karina Hale. I don't know. But anyways, this is a dark Little Mermaid retelling. It's like basically like everything you think you know about the original Little Mermaid. I mean, not even the original, the Disney version, let's be for real. So anything you saw in that first movie, like that's basically like the prologue so far. So that's like the very beginning setup, except it's a twist with like, what if Eric was an asshole? So far, I'm intrigued. They get snatched by pirates. There's like all kinds of shit happening. This girl is having a rough time. The Ariel character, she is not having a good time. She's being abused. Eric is really bad, so check trigger warnings. It's a bad time. She's just having a bad time. So, you know, that's as far as we got so far. But I kind of think she's gonna have a better time with these pirates. I mean, you know, like how I think it's supposed to be fantasy romance, and obviously she's not living that fantasy or that romance with Prince Eric. Okay, he sucks. He sucks big time. So, anyways, we're gonna continue with that, but I'm really hoping that he gets his ass whooped, because somebody needs to take him down a notch, and it might be these pirates, and I'm hoping for that. Okay, so I've more properly started the Starlight Heir. I'm on page 60, so I'm about 60 pages in, so now I do know the premise of this. So, yes, our main character was summoned by the royal family because the prince needs a wife, and so they're doing wifey trials basically over there. And this book, it starts like immediately. There's not like this is what my life was before, now we're shook up by this thing that's happening. No, it immediately starts with she has been summoned. She don't want to believe it, but then she has to go. But the weirdest thing about this book so far is how they talk like Americans. They talk like your average today American, but it kind of feels like it's a little bit more of a historical vibe of the book. Like, I don't know, the setting and the way they're talking does not quite match, I would say. And her friend is so horny. It's like the horniness is just out of nowhere. It's very intense. So, I don't know. So, you know, there's very modern phrases thrown into this that is kind of fighting the scenery, if you're asking me. But, I don't know. I don't hate it enough to be like, I'm not going to read this. It's so far kind of fast-paced and shit's happening. So, just going to continue and keep seeing how this goes. So far, it seems like they're just doing weird little tests at every little turn. But I haven't gone that far with the trials yet. So, anyways. Marriage trials. That's what we have so far. But it also seems like there's some kind of prophecy. There's some kind of prophecy that's definitely going to come into play later. And she has weird, horny dreams. Anyways. So I'm interested to see where this goes, because there's clearly some background shit going on that's going to come into play eventually. But we'll see where it goes. Hello. So I'm updating that I finished reading A Ship of Bones and Teeth, and like there's plenty of smut. You're not gonna miss out on that. But why am I always blindsided by there being vampires in books lately? This is becoming a thing. Like, it's becoming a thing that there's like, you get like halfway through a book, 2/3 of the way through a fantasy book, and you think you know what the world's about at this point. But no, they just throwing in some extra stuff, extra shit out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I mean, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so I finished A Ship of Bones and Teeth, and I gave it 3 stars. I feel like it was just okay. Like, I mean, the plot was interesting enough, but like, how many times are you gonna get snatched by a kraken? I feel like it got a little repetitive. And I think the thing that bothered me the most, though, is that for it being an audiobook, like, I feel like the voices they picked for these people were so old, which made sense for the guy, but the girl's like 26, and they gave her like an old lady coffer voice, and it was weird. She sounded old. She sounded way older than she was in the audiobook, and it kind of threw me off. Because then she'd be like, oh yeah, when I started all this I was 16, and now she's like 26. It's like 10 years later, and I'm like, it sounds like my grandma, who was a chain smoker, is trying to tell me her life story from back in the day, except it's not written in past tense. So I don't know, I feel like that was a bit of a miss with the casting for that one, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't the best thing either, so yeah, just 3. But I also read more of Guild last night. And this story, I'm like getting so close to the end of that, and all of a sudden, the same crap. All of a sudden, there's Fae. What? Why are we just dropping this in at like 70-80% of the book? Oh, by the way, there's Fae in this world too. What? I mean, it kind of explains some stuff. I was like, well, why does she have like back tentacle ribbon things? So yeah, I guess it's Fae blood that she has is giving her this like weird ability, and people have some like magical powers. But like, yeah, you know, we're like 80% into this book, and now we're getting dropped a little history of the Fae and how there used to be a whole Fae kingdom and all this stuff. And I was like, out of where? Out of where? Also, I did Google if snow pirates were a thing, because you don't know unless you know, and no, they are not a thing. I just had to be sure, because, you out in the snowy area, and some dude's in a sled gonna come snatch you. These are things to know. But, yeah, so, no, they're not real, but I was very concerned for a second that was a real thing. So anyways, yeah, there's no snow pirates, but there is Fae in this book. Fae, snow pirates, rival kingdoms. Concubines are called saddles. One of them's gold. Like, there's just, this book is kind of all over the place. And I am still kind of annoyed with her main character. Like, I'm so glad somebody called her out. Like, ooh, this is one thing. Somebody did call her out for being a selfish brat. And, yeah, she is. Like, I mean, it's kind of not entirely her fault. She definitely has some trauma. And so, yeah, she's very, wrapped up in her own issues. But, yeah, she did some really entitled crap while they were traveling and slowed everybody down. And I'm like, well, you stopped the whole caravan because you wanted to you wanted to ride on a horse. Like, she slowed everybody down with her crap. Everybody. But yeah, she's like, I'm the favorite, I'm the special one. And I'm like, yeah, now I completely understand why the saddles do not like her. She's kind of unlikable. So anyways, I've been promised and told that she is going to make a turnaround later on as this book continues. Now that she's not in her cage and has to deal with reality, maybe now she will finally get out of her head and stop being obsessed with her own damn self and her own desires. But we'll see. You know, I mean, I already knew the first book was not going to be the best book, and a lot of people DNF this book because, yeah, I understand. Auren is obnoxious as shit, but she's just a brat. She's just a little bit self-absorbed. So we'll find out, I guess, in the second book. Don't know when I'm going to be picking that up. It's probably going to be a minute because I'm probably going to start some other stuff. So anyways, we'll catch y'all next time. Okay, hello. So, I do have reading updates, but let me begin by saying I was laid off yesterday, so, you know, we might be ending the vlog here. I was hoping to finish one more book, but I am obviously having not a very good time. So, anyways, we'll see. Hopefully I will be posting more frequently, but I don't know yet. We'll just have to see what happens. So anyways, yeah. My reading updates anyways. So I did read a little bit more of Okay, so I did read more of the Starlight Heir, which, yeah, so far it's like pretty fast paced and like a lot of stuff is going on, but yeah, like she went in for a bride trials basically, and she is finding out that she's like all these magical abilities, and it's just it's a very crazy time. There is chaos happening in this book where I'm at, but so far I like it enough to continue, but I might be finishing this in the next vlog because I would like to get this one out. But the Starlight Heir, we're continuing that one still. But my other update is that I finally finished Guild, which Guild was definitely not my favorite book. Like, Auren is just not my favorite. Like, I feel like I might have already said this. I might have already done this update, but Auren is not my favorite. We're gonna see how this continues into book 2, but yeah, I'm taking a break and probably gonna read some other stuff for a little bit before I go into book 2. But apparently it's supposed to get better at book 2, so here's hoping that that is correct. And my cat is bumping the stuff, so that's fantastic. But anyways, before I got laid off, it was my birthday. Literally, it was my birthday like 2 or 3 days before I got laid off. So anyways, I do have a book haul. I guess let's start with the one that came in the mail. I got this from Fairy Loot. So I have Where the Library Hides. Very exciting. I was very excited for the sequel. I think I kind of like how this one looks more than the first one, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I was pretty excited to read this. But yeah, so we have the Fairy Loot edition of that now. But, you know, before I knew I was going to be jobless, I bought some books with my birthday money. Alrighty, so yeah, I went to Barnes & Noble and grabbed 4 books. Amethyst Palais. Look at this child, though. Look at this child. Honey Boo Boo, what are you doing? Anyways, I guess we'll just keep it here. Little Amethyst. So anyways, my first pick, we've got the hardcover. Okay, so anyways, my first book was Fable for the End of the World by Ava Reed. I'm very excited to be reading this because I really like Ava Reed's books so far, and this edition is like really nice. Let me see. Let me take off the jacket. Stop eating it. Please, Amity, stop eating the shit. Stop it. But yeah. So we've got a three-eyed deer right here. I'm really excited to see what's going on with this because her books always have like, I don't know, like the just right vibe. Like a little eerie, a little horror-y. We'll see what's going on with this one though. I think it might be a little bit sci-fi. Not sure. But these edges are intense. And anyways, I'm really excited to read this. So next one. Kiss of the Basilisk. So I don't really know what this is about. I just know that it's a fantasy romance, and this paperback is Gorgina. Look at this. So pretty. So, I think I might have seen people reading an arc of this, if it's what I think it is. I'm not sure, but, you know, it sounds like something that I would like. I don't know. I'm just in my fantasy romance era, so fantasy romance. And then, another fantasy romance, because of course it is. I picked Blood Beneath the Snow. So I think I've seen some people kind of mentioning this here and there, but we've got a printed hardcover right here. We're going to find out what that's about eventually. I have a lot of time to read now. But another fantasy romance. This is just the beginning of a series that I don't think I've ever heard of, A Touch of Shadows. So let's see, Lost Queen Book 1. Something about witches and stuff. Yeah, I kind of like perused the back a little bit in the store, and I was like, oh, this is something I might be into, so we're just gonna give it a shot, you know, just a little paperback. Gonna find out what's up. So anyways, that is the haul, and you know, we're just gonna see. I'm pretty excited to read some of these, and like I said, now I have a lot of time to do it, so you know, we might be getting more vlogs more often because I have more free time for this kind of stuff. Also, I've been playing a lot of Sims. So much Sims. I've been so obsessed with playing Sims 4 right now that I have decided to download a ton of mods. It's crack. Sims is crack right now, okay? And I have an evil Sim, and they just had a baby, and I have Raton because why he look evil, like an evil little rat anyways. So anyways, you know, my little evil Sim and her family are doing very well. But I've been listening to audiobooks while I do that, so I did read, I think it was Dungeons and Dating. I'll pop it up here. But I did end up binging that one while while playing Sims 4. And it's cute. It's cute. I think I might even like it more than the first one. Like, I did not expect to like a YA romance, but when it's nerd kids playing D&D, apparently I'm into it. So, you know, that was fun. My only complaint is that maybe these kids are acting a little bit mature for their age, because, like, the shit that the MC is going through is the stuff that I expect her to be going through. Like, you know, with stupid teenage drama and, like, hey, wait, your boyfriend, so I'm gonna cause all this bullshit drama for no good reason other than, like, I want to destroy your reputation because I think it's going to help me get this dude. It's really tacky behavior, like, and if a dude is going for somebody that's doing all that, you have picked horribly. It's not good. It's not good. But that's some teenage bullshit that people have to, like, fuck around and find out, alright? But, yeah, so that happened to her. They move, and then, her new boyfriend apparently is all, like, steep and mature and won't let that happen to her, and I'm like, ain't no teenage boy like that. No, like, maybe one in a million. Like, this kid is so mature, he's more mature than people my age. It's kind of insane, but I'm like, you know what? I can't be mad because how many books do you get where they aren't acting fucking insane? Honestly. So anyways, yeah, this teenage boy is acting more mature than 30-year-old dudes and higher. It's insane. Insane. But anyways, so yeah, I think I gave it, like, a 4. I was into it. Anyways, it was easy reading, good reading for chilling out, good thing to be listening to. Well, I think I listened to both of these audiobooks while I was playing cozy games. It's very good for that. So anyways, I'm gonna go and yeah, I'll probably just end the vlog here. So you know what? I'll catch y'all next time. Hopefully by then I will have more updates or just have finished the Starlight Air and have more to tell you. But hopefully we could turn around with some better news next time. Alrighty. Catch y'all next time.